Today's topic is SNAP-R, submitting commodity classification requests. A female character appears behind a lectern. A whiteboard appears to the right of the screen with the female character's dialogue transcribed onto the whiteboard. You may request the Bureau of Industry and Security to provide you with the correct Export Control Classification Number, ECCN, or EAR99 designation of items through the BIS online web portal SNAP-R. BIS refers to these requests as CCATs, which stands for Commodity Classification Automated Tracking System. Please note that BIS commodity classifications are not determinations that the items are subject to the Export Administration Regulations. If you are unsure whether your item is subject to the EAR or the International Traffic in Arms Regulations, you should request a commodity jurisdiction determination from the Department of State. The instructions to submit BIS classification requests are found in Part 748 of the Export Administration Regulations, and there is no fee for classification requests. A screenshot of the SNAP-R page appears on the following screen. The next few scenes show you how to apply for commodity classification request on SNAP-R, as described by the female character. When you are logged into SNAP-R, click on Create Work Item from the menu on the left side of the web page. The next page will prompt you to select the type of work item you want to create. Select Commodity Classification Request from the drop-down menu. Next, create a reference number for the work item. This number may consist of a combination of numbers and letters to use for your organization's internal tracking purposes. Click Create to start a new work item from scratch. If you would like to reuse information from a commodity classification you previously submitted, you may select Search to Reuse to find draft and completed work items. To ensure efficient processing of your commodity classification request, you may provide user rights to other company SNAP-R users by clicking on Manage User Rights. That way, if you are out of the office for any reason, the additional account holder will be able to respond to BIS requests for this work item. Also, you may click on the question marks throughout the web form to access a SNAP-R online help guide. The first section of the classification request is contact information, blocks 1 through 5. I recommend clicking on Save Draft after every section. A red arrow drops down from the top center pointing to the underlined words Manage User Rights. The red arrow then retracts and reappears pointing to a small question mark box that is found next to each box. The contact information section is then bracketed in red. The mouse cursor slides down to the Save Draft tab found at the bottom middle of each section. The screen scrolls down to License Information and is bracketed in red. The next section is License Information, block 9. If you're submitting an encryption classification request, check this box. If not, move on to the next section. To the right of the screen, there is a checkbox that says, check here if you're submitting information about encryption required by 740.17 or 742.15 of the EAR. Third parties filing on behalf of a client should click on Switch to Third-Party Submission under Company Designation Information. Applicant information, block 14, should be pre-populated. If you have an employee identification number issued by the Internal Revenue Service, you may enter it under the EIN field. If you would like BIS to transmit the classification determination to another party, fill out the other party's contact details under Block 15. Block 22, Export Items, is where you list each item that you are requesting BIS to classify. Under 22A, select the ECCN from the drop-down menu that you believe best describes your item. Do not select an ECCN from the list if you have no idea what it could be. Please note that EAR99 is the last entry on the list. EAR99 covers those items subject to the EAR that are not described in any specific ECCN entry. Block 22B, APP, refers to the Adjusted Peak Performance for digital computers and equipment containing a computer. Additional information on APP is available in the technical note at the end of Category 4 in the Commerce Control List. If you received a previous classification for this item from BIS, provide the Commodity Classification Automated Tracking System, CCATS, number in Block 22D. Provide a technical description of the item in Block 22J to include specific characteristics, parameters, or measurements from the most relevant ECCN listings. Click Add Export Item if you would like to add additional items to the classification request. You may include up to 6 line items per request. Under Block 24 Additional Information, provide the basis of the ECCN that you selected in Block 22A, including an analysis of the item in terms of the technical control parameters specified in the ECCN. If you did not select an ECCN in Block 22A, you must provide the reason you were unable to determine the ECCN. Click on View and Manage Supporting Documents to upload descriptive literature, brochures, precise technical specifications, or papers that describe the items in sufficient technical detail. Supporting documents must be uploaded as PDF files. When you're ready to submit the classification request, click on Verify Addresses in Work Item to submit. The options at the bottom of the screen are Save Draft, Check for Errors, and Verify Addresses in the Work Item to submit. And you want to click on Verify Addresses in the Work Item to submit unless you want to save draft or check for errors. If any party's address could not be validated, an address verification error message will appear, and you will have the option to review and certify the address is correct. Once all of the addresses have been validated or certified, click on Preview Work Item to submit. The scene says all parties' addresses have passed our verification process, and the options are to edit work item, preview work item to submit, or return to work item list. To continue, you want to click on Preview Work Item to submit. You will have the opportunity to review your classification request at this point with the option to make any additional edits. If everything looks right, click Submit. The options at the bottom of the page are Edit Work Item, Submit, or Return to Work Item List. On the next page, provide the signer name in the format requested, along with the title and email address. Click the box confirming that you understand that the work item cannot be modified after it is submitted. Finally, click on Submit Work Item. The next page is signer information. You must sign the document with your first initial, period, last name, or first initial, period, middle initial, period, last name, with your title and email address. There's a checkbox that says, I understand that once a work item is submitted, it can no longer be modified. The button options are Cancel or Submit Work Item. A whiteboard appears in the next screen with the female character's dialogue transcribed onto the whiteboard. You will receive an application control number, ACN, when your work item has been successfully registered into the BIS system. An ACN starts with the letter Z followed by a string of numbers. You can check the status of your classification request on the System for Tracking Export License Applications, STELA, by entering the ACN in the field provided. The last screen showed the STELA homepage with a green box at the top right with the website's address, https://snapr.bis.gov/stela/. BIS assigns each completed commodity classification with a Commodity Classification Automated Tracking System number, or CCATS for short. The CCATS number starts with the letter G, followed by a string of numbers. As a reminder, BIS commodity classifications are not validations that your item is subject to the EAR. If you are unsure of the jurisdiction, you will need to submit a commodity jurisdiction request to the Department of State. As always, the Bureau of Industry and Security's Office of Exporter Services is here to help. Please feel free to contact us if you have any further questions. Thank you for watching this online video, and happy exporting! The whiteboard shows the following information: Bureau of Industry and Security, Office of Exporter Services, Washington, D.C., 202-482-4811, Western Regional Office, 949-660-0144, and web address www.bis.doc.gov.